fellas, what a weekend. What a weekend. Warriors beat the Celtics.
Man,
and the Giants signed Sean Mania. What else happened?
Well, before we get to Sean Mania, which I told Mark last week, you cannot, under any circumstance, sign Sean Mania. If you do, you are the A's. So we'll get to that later in the program because
actually we won't.
I mean,
I'm ready for that.
Oh, we will because
I'm not talking Giants.
Farhan's like, let me think.
You're not talking Giants.
I missed on everybody.
Damn,
I missed on everybody. What do I do?
Negative war.
Is Josh Donaldson available?
The day Willard says, I'm not talking Giants.
No,
the Giants are having a bad day.
No.
Is Ioannis Cespedes still available?
Come on,
because
you guys.
I'm Farhan, and I love the A's.
This
Don't get Yasiel Puig.
This Brock Purdy story is in this moment exactly.
Is Miguel Tejada still playing baseball somewhere?
I'm joking, Mark. I'm
I know
joking.
you are. I know you are.
No, I'm dead serious. What an embarrassment. I mean, so far it's Mitch Haniger and a former A. Attaboy, Farhan. But yes, the Warriors and the Celtics, my God. I mean, it's one thing to win that game. I didn't think they would win that game.
Nor did I.
It's another thing to say, hey, Boston, here's our calendar. It's still June, by the way, and we don't even need Wiggins.
Dude, just Saturday night games. Maybe I'm tripping. I know it's a newer phenomenon for the NBA. I love these 5:30 Saturday night games.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Am I the only one? Like they feel big time.
No, it was
Don't they?
And they had the throwback routine.
Oh, they look great.
Love the TMC. Shout out to father-in-law Craig. It was his 79th birthday party, so we're getting into it. Pre-lobster, we had lobster.
The Phil.
Which is nice. The Phil, no longer the Phil, because he's now the actual father-in-law and put a ring on it. And
thanks, fiance.
We threw it on the TV because my brother-in-law, the legendary Mike Talasian, yes, the Bill, yes, a.k.a. Mike, he's actually a producer for NBA TV.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, we got to put the game on. And he's a Boston guy, so we were doing a little bit of back and forth. And, but
Marcus Smart.
A little bit of Marcus Smart, but we were talking, and I said, are you like full-on Boston, like Celtics, Sox, and the Patriots? He's like, yeah, I'm that guy. And so we put it on, and Steph is hitting no-look threes. And Jonathan Kuminga is Jonathan Blanken Kuminga.
Lefty layups in the lane.
Missing shots, getting back, and then dunking on fools.
All these reps for him moving forward is so good for him. Even the mistakes, these reps are good for him because I'm eager to see where he's going to be at in March and April when playoff time is coming around. Jonathan Kuminga locking up Tatum, dunking on Tatum. I mean, this guy is a physical freak. Remember Tim Roy told us, California Classic, he reminds us of Ron Artest, and I'm like, man, you know what? Tim Roy is onto something.
One last thing on that
just
Celtics
stay out
game.
of the stands, Kuminga.
For real.
Yeah, just don't do it. Stay off the Hennessy, too.
I think a lot of Warrior fans did what I did. God, they're playing Blake Griffin a lot. Like, right? Am I the only one who thought that?
No
like,
Horford and no Time Lord.
I know, but I'm sitting there going, God, he's 2 years younger than Curry. Isn't that crazy?
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's
same
crazy.
draft.
Same
draft.
He was 40 years old 3 years ago. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, he's been through it for sure. But I don't know. What I took from all that, too, I mean, the one thing I think we forget is the psychological edge that a champion has. And that is going to show itself at some point this season. And Jaylen Brown, to me, what he said after the game, that's all I needed to hear. He admitted, like, we played like this was a different game. You know, I know that Jason Tatum said the opposite, but Jaylen Brown, he let him into the locker room. He's like, look, we played like something else was going on here, like we were trying to prove something, and that's all you need to know. And the fact that the harder they tried, the worse it got, is a classic big brother, little brother situation. So Boston is the best team in the NBA right now, but Warriors got a big edge.
You heard what Draymond said. If we play our A game, nobody's beating us. And with that said, there's a 6-game road trip coming up starting tomorrow in Milwaukee. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, but we're burying the lead here.
Yeah, we are.
The defense played great. Defense has given up 14 second half points in the last 6. They're balling right now, giving up only 10 points a game in the last 6.
By the way, it's still
McCaffrey
only giving up 7 as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what the hell the review was looking at. That boy was down with his knee on the ground as he caught the ball at the half-yard line. They might have gone in the next play, but what on earth was that? Anyway, go ahead.
I thought it was going to be a pick.
It should have been a pick.
I stayed to watch Brady throw a touchdown pass.
If that's what you need to score on the 49ers
decision.
in the second half, fine.
Hey, it is what it is. Christian
fine.
McCaffrey, how about him? 8.5 yards a carry. 14 carries, 119 yards. What a move by John Lynch in the front office. But it's the Brock Purdy show.
It is the Brock Purdy show. Before we get to the Brock Purdy show, just watching McCaffrey, his ability to get small and then get big within 3 steps, because he gets the ball And if there's going to be contact before the hole, he's big. And then he gets to the hole and he gets small. And he gets out of the hole and he gets big, all while running at full speed. By the way, in the ball protection, the ball security is incredible. But his ability to frame up and cut and always go forward. Get small, get big, and then get small again.
Well,
it's crazy.
And a stiff arm of a guy who was behind him yesterday. That's what launched him for that touchdown.
Sick.
He saw that coming, and he's like, before you grab my jersey, I'm going to grab yours, and I'm gone. He had a phenomenal game, but I also love what he pointed out. And running backs do this, but it's true. That might have been the best game I've seen the offensive line play in
their blocking was incredible in
three
game.
or 4 years.
Agreed.
I mean, McCaffrey gets all that credit, yes, but the holes that were being, I mean, and I know Purdy took a lot of hits. He definitely did because he's not scared and he hangs in there and all that. But the offensive line, particularly in the run scheme, was unbelievable against a defense that we thought was pretty good defense.
I thought these linebackers matched up really well with the Niners. I thought Shanahan was brilliant too.
Oh,
he was so good. When he this is I think
we'll get to him.
Well,
we will.
He's fantastic.
But this is I agree with you. This is where I think my frustrations watching him is that depending on who his quarterback is, it feels like the offense gets constipated, and you could tell. Again, I don't know if this is a mirage or what. But his play calling is telling me in the stands he believes in Brock Purdy because of the way they opened it up and the things that they were doing. It's hard for me to not sit here and say, I think he really believes in Brock Purdy.
Not only that. No, but he could throw, my biggest question going into this game, can he throw outside the numbers? Can he throw outside the numbers deep down the field? Jimmy struggles with that.
Yes.
I've seen Jimmy over and over overthrow guys, throw it out of bounds, and it's just like, oh, man, he's got to be in the middle of the field with Jimmy. Brock was throwing outside the numbers yesterday on the pylon.
A couple of blitz beaters, too, deep down the sideline.
You blitz him, he beats the blitz.
Yes,
We've seen it 2 weeks in a row.
And he can move. What was the stat that Kyle had? I think that Brock Purdy had 2 touchdown passes yesterday that traveled more than 20 yards in the air. That's one more than Jimmy's had all year. In one game. Now, look, this unfortunately is going to spill sometimes for some people over the last 24 hours into a Jimmy narrative.
I love it. Jimmy's a bum.
It's also Trey Lance, too.
it's
Trey Lance.
Brock,
I'd rather,
I'd
much rather do that. Here's the question.
It's
Then
Trey
I think
and Jimmy.
You want to talk about bearing a lead. This is what I think every 49er fan is going through today. What did that mean? How did it change your perception of everything? Whether that's the rest of this year, whether it's next year. How did yesterday change your perspective?
They can win the West, and from there, then I will recalibrate. Going into that game, I was like, oh, this feels like just winning the West would have felt like a ridiculously difficult accomplishment before yesterday. Now I'm like, you have to win the West.
Sure.
Yes. Now you have to
in 3 days.
Yeah.
Which is a tough task.
We were both at should last week. You still should have won the West, I thought.
Right.
Now, my recalibration sensation is that you very well can win the entire NFC.
Seattle,
you're going to be the 2 seed. You're going to beat Seattle on Thursday. And
you think you're the 2 seed?
Yes.
You think you're going to
Minnesota is fading. You're a game behind Minnesota.
But this is where
Minnesota got exposed. I know we all want to get on Detroit's bandwagon.
I like Detroit.
We're biting kneecaps fine. Detroit's a nice little story.
I agree.
Detroit's still sub 500. The Niners are going to be the 2 seed. They're going to host 2 playoff games. And maybe Philly has a little hiccup, and you host the NFC Championship game.
That would be.
I do want to point out.
That would be insane.
Please,
I want to point out Minnesota's 4 remaining games. They do have a quirk, which is fair with what you're saying. Minnesota's got a negative point differential. Do you know how hard it is to be 10-3?
Yeah,
almost
impossible. What's that?
What's the point differential?
It's only 1. It's negative.
It's that Cowboys game.
But they've won a bunch of one-score games.
They have been a lot of games.
If they had lost the Cowboys by 1, their point differential would still only be like plus 36. Yeah. Listen to what the other top teams are. The 49ers are plus 120. The Eagles are 138. The Cowboys are 131. The Chiefs are 86, and the Bills are 132. That's what a good football team that's got 9 or 10 wins looks like.
Yeah.
And the Vikings are -1. It's bananas. However, that said, the remaining schedule, because they have handled all the bad teams all year, they've got the Colts at home, they've got the Giants at home, then they're at Lambeau, and then they're at Soldier. They're going to go at least. They're going to go 3-1. They might go 4-0.
But the other thing I was thinking about with the Niners, like just looking at the Niners, you win this week. lick your wounds. You can rest a couple guys that have been like Nick Bosa. I would, because if you're going to go straight from the regular season to the playoffs, if you have to with Nick, he's going to get an extended period because of the Thursday game. That groin's got to be 100%. They're going nowhere without 100% Nick Bosa.
It's still a month away. I mean, look, and I don't know. There's not much difference between the 2 and the 3 seed anyway.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need to push for it.
Are you scared about going to Minnesota?
No.
Who the hell's scared of that?
No.
Nobody's scared of that.
The Niners have a playoff type of style.
Yes.
Which is why Shanahan teams, especially when they're humming, they get better in November and December because they run the ball, they dominate the line of scrimmage, they selective passing game.
Suffocate Kirk Cousins. They're going to suffocate him.
They just hit you. They have a playoff type of style that they play during the regular season, so I don't worry about the road.
What's your answer to that? So Dibs got him in the bowl.
I'm not. That's Joe.
You got him in the NFC West.
Just win the West would be an
incredible
accomplishment.
But I'm with you.
I'm not doing the long term.
I'm with you.
I'm not doing the long
You
term.
can't take it week by week when you guys
can.
walked out of camp talking about Trey Lance and 5 Pro Bowls. You can't now go week by week.
Well, of course you can.
Yes, we can. We didn't say anything about Pro
No,
Bowls.
you guys were going crazy over a guy off of one
we said
practice.
Trey Lance should have been. Trey Lance was really good in that training camp.
He was.
He was really good in that
so
training camp.
So now you're going to go week
Jimmy
by week? You got Seattle in 3 days?
We have the last pick of the draft playing quarterback. Although he looked really good yesterday, I'm taking it week by week.
That's
what
fine.
I'm doing. I'm not doing, hey, they're going to go into Philadelphia and beat Philadelphia. I'm not going to be that reckless person. I'm going to take it week by week.
Are they going to win Thursday in Seattle?
Dibs, that's my job to be reckless.
Well, I mean, let's go. I love the all caps takes.
Is Brock Purdy going to play Thursday?
He's going to play
Sounds
Thursday.
like it.
He's going to play Thursday.
He's got an MRI today.
There's no
but it sounds
Deebo
like
Samuel. It's a divisional game.
Deebo injury.
I know about that house of horrors in Seattle. They know Seattle, this is desperation time. They're outside looking in on the playoffs right now.
Yep.
They have to win on Thursday.
Yep.
They have to. And if the Niners lose, it's not the end of the world.
That's right.
That's right. From the Miami game. But the Niners have a defense that is shutting down everybody. They've given up 64 points in the last 6.
That's crazy.
64 points in
That
their
really
last
is
6
crazy.
in today's NFL.
Bananas.
This defense is good.
Hey,
really good.
what
I
if
feel good about the Niners, but winning the NFC, I don't know.
What if I reframe the question? It's not about, because I didn't ask, how far do you think he's going to go?
I feel better about the team today than I did 8 days ago when he first came off that game.
But just focus on Brock.
Yeah.
Whatever you felt before the game.
About Brock?
How did yesterday
I feel
change your perspective?
Oh, the poise in the pocket was next level. The ball skills in the pocket, the pump fakes, the shoulder fakes, his agility. He's not moving in the pocket to run. He's still keeping his eyes downfield, which I'm like, damn. All right, I didn't expect this one. And then the throws down the field on the sideline, like Ayuk, it was a little underthrown, but it's a touchdown. I don't care.
But he's had someone in his face on his back foot.
I'm not going to
that was
and the teammates reacting to him.
Better, and the teammates.
That
Greg
to
Olsen
me
said that on
is
the
a big
broadcast,
one.
too. Watching the game back last night, Greg Olsen was like, look at the way his teammates just responded to him. My perception of him has changed. He's a lot better than I thought. Yeah. Coming out of camp, I said, man, if it comes out in Brock Purdy this season, it's over.
Right.
Hell, Miami game, I'm sitting there like, oh, gosh, Brock Purdy time? And they win that game and then they do this.
Yeah, the big thing we're waiting for is adversity when he has to face a deficit, when he has to face real adversity. Where maybe he's thrown a Jimmy O no pick. Maybe he's thrown 2 picks.
He almost did yesterday.
He did.
Yeah. They got bailed out. They had 2 great flags.
Can we just take a moment to talk about how they got the whistle yesterday?
The first play of the game.
The opening play.
Come on.
No, that's one of those ones where,
Mark,
you would be like screaming from the high heavens if that happened to Nick Bosa. Helmet to helmet. He uses the crown. 15 yards. If that goes the other way, all y'all are ripping the refs.
That was a tackle to me. We opened our show.
It's absolutely true. All you ref haters, take a moment to realize what a whistle they got yesterday.
How about the review?
They got a very kind
whistle
yesterday.
Said it about the interception and that hit on the first play of the game. Those are not penalties.
Those are tackles. That's a tackle. That's a basic tackle.
I thought it was
to me.
I didn't think it was a penalty. I didn't.
It is a penalty, but when it happens to your team, we all go bananas over the fact
I don't think it was a penalty at all.
Helmet to helmet is. I think we've all accepted that.
How about the review of the review of the review?
I mean, what are we doing?
So I'm in the stands, and they're like, we're reviewing the play. And they go, okay. So then they're all talking. Then they go, we've overturned it.
Wait, which one are we talking about?
The McCaffrey catch.
Okay.
And then, so you're in the stands because you don't know what's going on, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, this 8K like video thing. No, it was incredible because they never show highlights. And I'm like, kudos, Levi's. They're showing highlights. And this zoomed in, perfect HD, feet going down. And they go, actually, they've now challenged the review. which I didn't even know you could do, and then we're going to go review our review. And I'm like, what? This is
felt
Inception.
totally weird, but it's because it's a scoring play, so there's an automatic review.
Right.
There's an automatic review.
So they reviewed the initial call.
I can't take you through what they actually did, but that's what it felt like.
It was
but
like
remember,
a 5-minute stop.
They got themselves to a point where they were referring to it being a non-catch as the call on the field.
Gotcha.
They're like the call on the field, and then the review comes out, and they're like, we're reviewing the call on the field of not a touchdown. And I'm like, but you called it a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I sort of read it as you called it a touchdown. Then, as it goes to the automatic review, there was also a huddle, right? They huddled.
Got to huddle.
Right? Nope. Actually, call on the field is incomplete. And then comes the challenge.
So
the whole
then
thing
he
took
challenged
like
it.
8 minutes.
Yeah,
Right.
it took forever,
right.
and we had no idea. And everyone's got their phone out, and they're trying to find the highlights.
They got it right.
Yeah, they did get it right. But Shanahan's challenges have been good this year.
It's been amazing.
Shanahan's in his bag. Shanahan's in his bag.
I don't know what to say.
He's in his bag.
Hey, tell me. Listen, we all went through the famous moments in NFL history last week when a backup quarterback comes in and takes off. Can anybody think of another time when the third quarterback came in,
Ty Detmer,
and did the damn thing? No,
but Kerry Cobb,
but went somewhere.
No.
Went somewhere.
I think they went to the playoffs. Kevin Cobb got knocked out.
Kevin Cobb.
Yes, and they got Cobb got knocked out after McNabb, and then in comes one of the Detmers, one of the 15 Detmers.
Point Detmer.
Yeah.
It was
Derek
Coy. It was Coy. There you go.
The Niners on Monday Night Football.
But that's all I can think of.
He was doing that saddle
They
thing.
beat the Niners on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
With one of those stir stringers, and the Niners
Of
won
course
throwbacks.
I remember that.
Yeah, the Niners
And he
won
had his
throwbacks.
And
lasso
Alex had
out
the
and all
worst
that crap.
turnover of all times, rolling out.
That
to
was
his
later
left.
on. That was a Sunday Night Football game. That was a Sunday night game. Anyway, what else you guys got coming up? That's the question?
No, you're right.
It's a lot.
talking Brock Purdy.
I mean,
That's
third
it.
string quarterback to Mark's point, and
Incredible.
people like me are still thinking, hey, the Super Bowl, it's not only a possibility, but I think that it's a stronger possibility than we think based on the way things are breaking. And I disagree with Mark in terms of Minnesota going 4-0. This Minnesota team, they've won 9 one-score games
That's crazy.
this year.
I don't think
is crazy.
I don't think 4-0, but I do think at least 3-1.
Well, 3-1 might not be enough if the Niners run the table.
That's
and
asking
then,
a lot too, but
you
yeah.
know, I mean, you look
possible.
at what the Niners are doing right now defensively. This defense is far and away the best in football. The Cowboys got gashed by a variety of Houston Texan quarterbacks yesterday.
Yeah.
Houston was treating that game like it was the
Audition.
the Poinsettia Bowl. Oh, we're going to bring in this quarterback, and we're going to bring in this quarterback.
dude.
The only time I could think of a third string, because you were asking, I'm rapping, is like a college Alabama type situation where they're so loaded.
Yeah.
Like guys go down and here's our 7th, 5-star recruit who's coming into the game. He's only 19, but he was the number 1 recruit this year. Like that's the only thing I can think
What's a
of.
third string quarterback who was the last pick of the NFL draft?
It's
Well,
crazy.
that's not. I mean, we're. This is going to be the most relevant Mr. Irrelevant of all time. It already is.
It already is.
Only
So-
one undrafted quarterback has ever been the quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Oh, is it Doug Williams?
Nope, he was the first rounder.
Yeah,
I
he was
didn't
the first
even know
rounder
that.
with Tampa
I did the
Bay.
math last week. 19
was with Tampa Bay.
19 first round picks have been Super Bowl champions. 15 outside the first round. One quarterback.
Rich Gannon?
No, it's Kurt Warner.
Correct. Kurt Warner.
Good
Kurt
one,
Warner.
Good one.
8
Sorry
number
about
1
him.
overalls have won the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
What?
19 first rounders. 15 non-first rounders.
Wow.
Including Drew Brees is
That's
on that
incredible
list. and-
homework.
That is.
Yeah, I was, during the breaks, occasionally you get the pen out, you
Dibs
do a
is
little
in
bit.
his
call that
bag,
Dorado.
too. Yeah.
He's
I'm
in his
in my
bag.
bag, yeah.
That was a good one.
In
Kurt
my
Warner.
bag.
Yeah, we're talking
It's
about
funny
Kurt
because
Warner.
a second reference to my brother-in-law, Mike. We were talking on Saturday night about how everybody's now in their bag, If I had to drive home and pick up the pasta to bring it back for turkey meatballs, I'm in my bag. I made it back in 8 minutes.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm in my bag.
Wait till your daughter starts
Everyone's in their
singing
bag.
pasta, pasta, pasta everywhere. I'm sorry. It's a local
Nice,
song.
dude.
You know
Baby
the pasta
Chaz.
song? Yeah, the pasta song. Pasta everywhere.
Who
Baby
doesn't like
Chaz.
pasta?
Yeah, she loves it. We got our
Come
pasta
on.
set. She loves
I miss pasta
so much.
pomodoro.
Oh, pasta pomodoro.
Is it all gone now?
I heard they're all gone.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
Man.
one in Japantown.
I think
next to
the guy who
Kabuki.
created pasta pomodoro runs the Super Dupers, but don't get me right. I thought that's what I
You
had
know
heard.
what? That
fine
may
with
be a
that.
good call.
That's a
My
great
homegirl
call,
Aja
possibly.
worked at Pasta Pomodoro
Yeah.
when it opened in Japantown, and now she's moved over to
That's-
Super Duper Burger.
Super Duper's
and
excellent.
manages that. So.
Dude, we would go to the one in El Cerrito, Albany, right there on
Yeah.
the border, and you get like your 5 dishes, and it's like $87, and it's like, You kidding me here?
Yeah.
I got 5 pasta dishes and some sauce, and you're going to hit me for 80 plus?
And then you go to Safeway, it's 89 cents for a box
Dude,
like this big.
Seriously, a rigatoni.
Well, boys, have a good show. Should be explosive today on 95.7.
Oh, yeah.
With Willard and Dibs.